Hey, THLers, we're back again. Oh, except my music is starting again. That's supposed to go on repeat. But here we go. Got my good pal Kodamora back with me on the set.
How's it going?
It's
Yeah, it's a holiday weekend here in the great country, United States of America. Can't complain. So great weather. Hope everyone's enjoying their time. For those that are not in the U.S., either congratulations or I'm sorry. Depends on where you stand on that. So should be a good one today, though.
It should, yes. We just had I was helping broadcast the EU finals. Really didn't matter who won that one because of League of Nations took the win over Perniak. I'm going to probably bastardize that name, but they still played the game out anyway, and it turned out to be a 3-0 series, which made it super close from a point standpoint. But so congrats to League of Nations there for their win earlier today.
Awesome.
But now we have the Heroes Series finals with CMAC up against Geranium Battle for what should be a very, very great match. So it's tied 10-10. We do have bands in now, so we were kind of talking about this just before the stream started. So we had a couple things, but we're looking at CMAC banning Hunter and Geranium Battle banning the Mage. So what are your thoughts on that?
Does that give us any information? I don't know. I mean, so CMAC banning Hunter. Hunter is just kind of one of those consistent decks, and I don't know if there's exactly any lineup that you. I don't know if it puts them on any line, because then you're left with Druid, which has some flexibility, Mage, which is ultra flexible, and Paladin, which is ultra flexible. So you took away the consistent deck. And you left up three decks that can kind of go two different directions. So that one may be just a preference ban. We saw some 40-card Hunter decks that have been doing really well.
Mm-hmm.
You just kind of don't want to be beat by the high roll, so you'd rather just take your chances and just remove a strong deck. So that makes a lot of sense. And from the other side, Geranium Battle takes away the Mage, which, again, either Mech Mage or Big Spell Mage, but you're leaving up three decks that, again, are very have a lot of variance to them. You have Holy versus Mech on the Paladin, Control Shaman with Murloc control or just straight Murlocs, and again, Warlock with Murlocs or Curse paths they can take. So it basically made it to where both can kind of choose a direction, and either we're going to see aggro on aggro on control, or control on control. So one of those three, I think.
Some bend but do not break kind of decks or classes that are up right now. So the players are ready to go. If you're ready to go, I mean, we might as well set the world on fire with how this pan out. So
yeah,
what do you
definitely afford it.
Yeah, what do you think is going to be?
I want to see Druid. I want to see Pressure Druid. That is my new platform. Every time Druid's up, I want to see Pressure Druid. But they should roll. They should be randomized, so we should be able not to be able to pick out the decks. But I'm picking. It's going to be Paladin versus Paladin to start off with.
Okay. I'm going to pick Mage, C-Max Mage versus Geranium Battle's Hunt. Oh, wait a second, they're banned. Okay. We're gonna... Yeah, I think...
I'll put money on it.
Yeah. I would say the Paladin matchup is probably Paladin Mirror is probably going to be the one that's coming up as well. I believe that'd be the.
If you make a choice, right?
If you had to make a choice, yes. I'll see what they bring up. So just for our viewers, we have Geranium Battle is at the bottom of the screen. First to spectate for myself and Kodamora, and C-Max is going to be at the top of the screen. There's going to be no cams, no player cams, unfortunately, today, but that is okay. Waiting for players to get rock and roll, but I'll fill you in on some if people haven't looked at the website. So at least I don't have Chicken. Came in with 10 points with always just in time with a 3-2 win over J Rich. Skirt Reynolds with a 3-0 win over Bone Masher. But on the other side, a week past midnight or 8 p.m., we had German Shep beating the 1-seed Neji Boston. And then Laughing Frog I think that was on stream Friday night. So Laughing Frog defeated you Kit and me at 3-1. Brings us to tonight's match.
Awesome.
And they are in.
Looks like yes. Now we can, as always, we go. Yeah. Oh, see, we were right.
Yeah. Actually, C-Max mentioned something about his mercenaries composition, so I don't know what that means. All right, so Geranium coming out with Druid, as you wanted to see, and we got C-Mac with what looks like, at first, is a Murloc Shaman, possibly, or Control.
And we do see the Far Watch Post in the Mistress of Mixtures early Moonlight Guidance. This, definitely feels like a Prester. We'll see here in a second.
We had a Prester in our EU matchup today, and that was very entertaining.
Now, did it win?
It did. Yep.
See, there you go. Yeah. It's so funny how one card can have such a massive impact with Renthal or whatever, right?
Yep.
It's just okay.
So Geranium Battle had to disconnect and now is reconnecting to their play. So, a little bit of a hiccup. So we're just waiting for Geranium, I think, to kick in.
No, it's such a minor thing, but whenever you have issues at the start of a match, it's a little bit frustrating, right? Because you're trying to think about everything else, right? I mean, especially on the stream, not like there's not a little bit of like pressure on this match being the final one, right? And then all of a sudden your stuff doesn't work.
That's right.
and you're like,
yeah,
because it's not even in your control. There's nothing you can do.
Nope.
Just got to shut it out. Just do what you can. So hopefully there's no lingering issues or anything that's ongoing.
Yep. As players can see, it's about 1 minute into the match, but
no, we could.
There we go.
Oh,
okay.
There we go. All right.
So.
No, the thing is like as good as there's a thought process here. If you put your opponent on an aggro deck, you want to make sure that you have stuff that you drop early so they don't run away with it, right?
Yeah.
But you're also playing the balance game with Prester of saying, okay, well, I need to make sure that I cast Prester on 5, ideally, at the worst turn 6. Because if it's any later than that, then it's too slow. And so we see the hard mulligan. We do see an Aquaform for Dredge. We do see the Starfish, which has, Pelican Diver is nice. But again, we have no idea what your opponent is. So sometimes just dropping out there too early is not, you don't see additional value, but, we do see him play it. I like it.
C-Mac is definitely a Murloc Shaman.
All in, yeah. Yeah, this is all in.
Don't normally see all in. Unless I'm wrong.
And the problem is that this does slow it down for a turn, but the problem is if you don't, you have to play into it at some point, right? Mm-hmm. And you have the Flirgle so you can kill it off, but that's, coin into Clownfish into 2. I think that's viable, so you can clear next turn. What did we see?
I don't see the choices, unfortunately. So.
I do not either. So we were both experiencing the same bug.
You have a mystery choice, or I have to restart my client.
Well, if you restart your client, you do yours first and see if it fixes, because I see the same thing.
Yeah, I'll see if just wait till the
unless there was the disconnect.
A possibility. I mean, Peasant came.
Peasant. And this will get punished, unfortunately, but you gotta play things.
Here comes Nemo.
And then, yeah, this is just such a simple answer.
Yeah.
Clean. Has total board control now.
Yep. Staring at 9 to start, but have a healthy 39 health.
And the problem is that it's not as threatening this early to Starfish, right? But the Starfish does have some stats, so I'm not saying it's a great option, but it is an option. The other way is you dredge for him now. I don't think you have time to kind of hold it till after your Prester, so
Right.
I think you go ahead and do that. See what's out there, see what you can draw. Hopefully it's a rigger, right? So you can draw, so you can play Prester on curve. And then far post, just to give them, something to eat, 3 attack, right? Or 2 attack and playing a clownfish from the other side. So a couple choices. 3 mana is just an odd turn. Chooses to hold on to that, the aquatic form, which I mean, you definitely want to get the most value out of it, and if you think you're going to go run, but at this point, you need to draw Prester. Like, that's
long and the short.
It's a must. And unfortunately, we don't know what the other 2 cards were because we didn't see the choices. So they could be horrible choices, and there's.
Well,
I mean, this is a nice cleanup. Get rid of. But we are going to just see the trade, which is nice because now the Watchwells can attack, clears off a 3/2, and this can clean off either another 3/2 or just, I think, another 3/2, right? Just remove it from the board. Yeah, there's no real value of creating a wall and just leaving more Murlocs for them to buff later. So from CMAC's side, I think the Tide Boss is the bird here. I mean, he got the Delicious Scout for free.
Yep, Scout for free, and then that'll give you either Seer or Borrower. Borrower just seems.
Yeah, do Burrower, right? Because you get the extra attack.
Would you? Yeah, you tap the 2/4, right? With the Borrower.
Yes, based on what you see here, though, right? I mean, there's also the spawn, right? So you can just double trade in with the spawn.
True. And this is going to be a big bloodlust if Uranium doesn't know, or doesn't feel.
No, he's going to keep it.
Yep.
I think that's smart. I mean, I think either way is really good. This one keeps an extra mini on the board. Oh, see, I mean, but the problem is it going to be in time, right? So here's the problem: is even on 6, you have to keep the aquatic form and hope that they put a 0 cost. No, yeah, 0 cost, because some play the Tiny Fin, the 0 cost Murloc, so you have the ability to cast a 0 cost dragon, but that's still too slow because we know there's a bloodlust coming in. If we don't, that's 1, 5, 6, 9, 12, 14. With bloodlust, that's an additional 18, right? 6 times 3. So 14 plus 18 is lethal.
This is like Ziggy Zacked. Yeah, you wouldn't wait to throw Seer down first, but because you got nothing.
If you're gonna, I'm wondering if he's experienced any kind of lag because he did that really late in the turn.
Nope. Oh.
It does remove 3 damage, but not enough. I do not think. 6.
You could Seer here if you
12.
wanted to, but
No, this is just
Rick is concede in the West. All right, so
yeah.
C-Mac.
That's the danger. So it looks like C-Mac is going. Let's see if he keeps along this path of everything goes fast, right?
Yep.
Um, we still have his Paladin and Warlock left. Is that correct?
Yes. So we got Paladin and Warlock. Gonna assume it's gonna be Holy Paladin,
Uh,
but not necessarily.
Not necessarily. I mean, if he wanted to go full aggro path, right? Like, so if you want aggro on Shaman outside of just specific lineups, but again, we talked about the variance on, both lineups can go each direction. So you kind of one mindset would be just choose a path and just go all in on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're going aggro on one, go aggro on all of them, and just hope you catch a good matchup where it's just favorable to something.
For C-Mac, the double clowns kind of helped set the tempo on that easy. So.
Oh yeah, I mean that's always the great start, and we didn't see any of the early kind of card draw that we can see from Pressure Druid.
Yep.
It did draw it, but again, I mean, it drew it and had nothing really to do with anything. No innervates, didn't have the coin, so.
Oh, did we queue up the wrong?
It's
Hero. My goodness. Okay.
It's Hero. They're keeping it. So that's what I thought, but I never challenged you. But I trust you in this, Saku.
Yeah,
I've learned my valuable lesson.
Don't trust me. It's the Druid's off the table. I'm on legacy roll, which is bad. So.
Yeah, don't do that. But we just see double fire sale with Commander Silvara. I like that. I mean, like you're looking at 2 board clears, without any buffs, but 2 decent board clears, and the ability to get 2 more right afterwards. I mean, it is a greedy line. I mean, you're basically just conceding that I'll hopefully draw stuff, but I like it, and so does Geranium.
Yep.
Yeah. And Runehorn, again, just slows it down a little bit. Definitely like this approach. And with the coin, you're looking at turn 3, turn 4, first flame, easy.
Do you use first flame on a 1/2?
Yes. I mean, because it's something on the board, right? Like you already have board clears. Like why not? Because you're getting the second one. So you have it. You have Rune Orb next turn to play on curve to draw, get access to another spell and keep the board clean. Like you want to try to minimize board as much as possible. Like, what are you saving the first flame for if you don't use it now?
Ooh, ops not to. Okay.
And again, I mean, I can understand, but to me, you have double fire sale with maybe the thing was they didn't want to. If you're coining out fire sale, you want to make sure you get 2 fire sales coming back off of Commander Savara.
Right.
With the coin, right? Nope.
Said nope.
That wasn't it. Choose to remove the bigger mini, which it saves life. So, it's definitely some value there.
All right. Clownfish come back out again. Ooh, Flurkle? Or, yeah.
I think Flurgle here. I mean, it's the one that just pushes damage through. And I think more importantly, has 3 health, right? It's slightly bigger.
Because of our caster vision, there's a possible coin fire sale coming out. Possible. But Flurkle for C-Mac might be good. Oh, picks Tide Collar, 0 cost. Sure. To the face. And there's the fire set.
Oh, there we go. Sorry, I had the
That's okay.
mic drop for a second. All right. And this is the problem with Shaman. It's sometimes like it's great when it goes and it can load up, but right now it's played its whole hand and we see a Brucon and nothing else. I mean,
Nothing else.
And it's really the second fire sale is just going to be. I mean, is it even? Yes, it's worth it because you're loading up Savara. So I guess maybe just casting Savara, you're not in any real danger. Even if they have Bloodlust next turn, it's only. I see the value in this. You're putting 3/5 on board. The board's really not that threatening. There's only one card in hand, and you get something to remove, the growing threat. Yeah, I like this play. Is this just straight Ping Mage?
Looks like it.
I like it. I'm a fan of Ping Mage. Especially for predicting an aggro lineup. I think Ping Mage does really well. And I mean, not the board, CMAC wants, and not the life he wants his opponent at this late in the game.
Yep. He wants bigger losses.
Yes, exactly. And then we see, on the other side, Dranium having the best hand. Just all the control. Board clears, freezes, has minions.
Yep.
A plethora of answers, which is where you want to be at. And then with the Rune Orbs, you have the ability to get even more value, right? Optimal lines here. Again, this is not that threatening. You can trade into, the bigger 2/3. So, yeah, maybe doing Rune Orb into the 2/3, right? See what you get. Frosty. That's a nice one.
Yep. Oh, the Vulcan.
Yeah, because that just. And you say that for the next go around, right? Because that's just another board clear. Trade in here, ping away the 1/1, and now they're just left with the 0/2 on the board, which can attack. So
we're 2 turns away, Kotamura, from a Brucon drop, and I can feel it.
Yeah, and there's always a chance it just goes 6 to the face every turn, right?
True. High roll his way through. No Murloc on the boards, but do you slam it down anyway, just for presence sake, knowing, kind of getting a good feel of what type of mage this is now?
I mean, I don't think you win by trickling your stuff out is the problem.
Yep.
Right? But, I mean, this is part of the thing of, like, but what are you saving it for? Like, ideally, you want to save it for a turn that matters. And right now, like, a 3/4 is not super threatening, but just putting a 2/2 and doing 2 damage doesn't really do anything. I mean, here... I mean, definitely drawing the spell is the play.
Yeah.
I mean, Ice Barriers, I think... Yep. Yeah, I think in a turn where there's not much development, you develop your Ice Barrier. There's nothing on board that can proc it this turn, stay around.
Yep.
There's not really... Are you really worried about the extra 3 damage to the face to get rid of the taunt? In front of, your 3/4? No. So just play this, run in, clear out the 0/2 wall.
Yep.
And you've developed more of a board than your opponent, which is where you want to be at. And not the best value.
You can heal all of the minions you want there. Oh, another taunt comes up. Do you throw that down just so you can...
Nope. No. I mean, no. Yeah, I mean, you got to assume that there's at least... The board can clear easily, and you're getting no additional value. I mean, it just becomes a 1/3.
I've heard of it. Oh, there's...
Now things go from bad to worse.
Yeah. Fire.
I think you always wildfire it. Even just pinging away the O2 and just sending everything face is fine. Yep. You can further develop the board if you want to, but just rather save the F-Flight Snow Flurry for when you to answer whatever may come up.
Yep.
There's just no need. Just you're pushing 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 a turn. Bruton does come down, and it does delay things. Unfortunately, he doesn't clear the board, but pushing 6 damage to the face. He knows the out. C-Mac knows the out is just try to do as much damage to face as possible and hopefully roll lucky 4 times in a row before you die. Oh, there. Hey, step 1 done.
Easy clap.
And so from here, I think you just start sending everything to face, right? So Runic.
Yep.
You have board clears if you need it, but go ahead and just Runic to see what you draw. I mean, you think about even maybe possibly trading away the fire sale because you have, 2 of the reckless, with Volcamancy. So, I mean, maybe just trading this away to draw a card or something, but does choose to do the Runic Orb first.
Nah.
I mean, Deep Breath, if you want another clear so you can trade away your fire cell, maybe something, but I think Arcane Intellect is just drawing more cards.
Got 2 pairs right now.
And I think, the question is, do you try to save Reckless Apprentice to get the most out of it so when you draw Mordresh that it's already activated, or you just kind of play it to put more damage on the board, do 2 to the face? And I like this play. It fits on the curve. Put 3 power on the board. And is going full all in, just knows he's on the clock of if they hit 6 in a row, there's a possibility bad things can happen. I'd rather have a good board. And now I don't think Shaman carries a board clear that they can do with 4 cards.
Yep. That Mergleton is a dead card now.
Yeah, because you don't want to. There's nothing you really want to change for the high roll of 6 damage to the face.
No.
And possible healing, right, to kind of mitigate. And no, that's not what he wanted to see. That's 5, 10. Do we have 15 to?
Yeah. Got
12. He needs 4. That's
2.
2. He needs to find 2 damage.
If he does the Reckless.
I think you I think you trade this away. Not what you wanted. It does thin the deck out, but not what you wanted. If you Reckless here, I mean, the thing is, I don't think you're not in danger of dying if you clear the board. So you can just freeze the board.
Yep.
Draw some cards, go face. Yep. Ping, yeah.
Another barrier. Well, first flame, get rid of the 5/2.
Yeah, and there's also, he also has the Sir Finley, let's go find Mordresh play, if you really wanted to, right? He has enough cards in hand where he's guaranteed to draw it, basically. The problem is I don't even know if it's activated at this point. And maybe it's close.
Oh, fix it anyway, okay. What do you pick? Life tap.
Yeah, you gotta go find something.
Go with style.
Yeah, you gotta play. You just playing it out. Floor gold to possibly you don't have enough. I mean, there's no other. But yeah, we do see the mage make it. The shaman Murloc is out now.
See, I must have predicted something. It wasn't correct, but
now we know what league we're in.
Hey.
We're getting closer to how this goes.
So now we're correct. We were one match behind or one game behind. So now we have Paladin and Warlock left.
Okay, so Paladin and Warlock left and against the mage. And so against this mage, the problem is that Ping Mage, if it's an aggressive lineup, does really well against a lot of aggressive lineups. And so we see here the Paladin. Let's see if they chose Yeah, this is Mech Mage. So we're seeing this aggressive lineup. I got to assume that Murloc Warlock is Murloc.
Yep.
And here it's a little bit harder because Divine Shields are not what you want to see from a Ping Mage. It's just any kind of removal just has to go through one extra layer, so it's a little bit extra. It's a little bit difficult. You have to kind of keep it under control. But as long as you can challenge the board early and kind of just not let Mech push too far, you can get there with a Ping Mage and just kind of ramp up everything. Mm-hmm. The Divine Shields are not fun though.
No, and especially if it's back-to-back resets, let's say. So you finally get rid of all the bubbles.
And it only takes you at least something on board, and then an AoE or two AoEs, and that's not what you want. But with Reckless Apprentice, you do have abilities to ping away shields.
Yeah.
And this is a really heavy hand
from
Draining Battle Sand.
Yeah.
There's a thing of coining out Amplified Snowman. Yep. So you put a board out, and you're just trying to make sure it doesn't run away, and then next turn you have the ping to remove another taunt if you want, but make sure this before possible weapon.
You do
this. No, I just want to keep pushing board.
Gorilla.
Gorilla or Seafloor, yeah. Either. I mean, Gorilla has more value. Seafloor, you get to see the bottom of your deck, and there's some value to knowing you'd rather pick the cards that you know you have because you put them in there to begin with. You don't have the added value of saw it.
Well, makes sense. Early Wildfire is good.
Question here is: do you just trade and ping and save the next turn because your 3-drop is most likely Arcane Intellect, but it also could be Wildfire Ping. So you can ping and trade into the Amalgam, leaving the 1/1, so they can trade the 1/1 into your 2/1, and next turn you're dealing with whatever their 3-drop is. Yep. So it just pings off the 1/1, just goes face.
Yep.
And this is also fine.
C-Mac coming in with another Gorilla that's buffed up a little bit. Jeez. Mooncatcher or Automaton?
I think the Mooncatcher, because you want to get to the point where we're putting more threats out, so they have to have the removal. And you already have one Mooncatcher, you have another one. The other thing to say is you can put Automaton where it's outside of reach, but I don't think you have enough cheap minions to do that, so yeah, it's just going to be the Mooncatcher. Makes a lot of sense. Mm-hmm. And a 4/5 is a big body. And we do see your freeze.
So, Wildfire and freeze ping. Get rid of the
yeah, you want to develop. The problem is your choice between developing your ping or Arcane Intellect to draw more cards to be more useful. I think developing the ping is what you want to do in this deck. Because next turn, Akani is something, right? Depends on what they play. If they can't push the 6 damage, then you have options there.
Mm-hmm. A little bit of
a
funky tech there with the Battle Master in C-Mac's hand, so don't normally see that, or I haven't seen it in the mech.
Yeah, I've seen it where they basically just want a board to push, and they have 2 minions with 5 attack on the board. It just pushes way too much damage. Yeah. So I definitely think that C-Mac is ahead. You wanted to see Savar Eternagosa, right? So you can have the Wildfire still. Double Wildfire would be great. The problem here is you can't ping and Arcane Intellect, and you can't just drop Akani because it's just going to eat the board unless you freeze, and then you can drop Akani. This makes sense.
Minion.
Easy play all day.
This was the Savior Sacrifice because doesn't have any buffs on it to kind of.
No, but and you don't have it activated yet for the Mooncatcher, so I think the Savior Sacrifice. But he's going to go ahead and do the Automaton Sacrifice, valuing the ability to go pull, the Mooncatcher from the bottom. Also, I think is what he's saving it for.
Yeah. Also sets up Battle Master going in between the 4/2s there for lovely 16 damage.
Yeah, I think this is easy ice barrier. Run into the 4-2, ping off the 4-2, or you can ping off the. Yeah, I think you ping off the 4-2. The thing is here, like, not doing this so they can't go and dredge it, but I don't think that's a game you can play.
No.
So I think this is absolutely the right play. Possible 16 coming back the other way. And we see that not an easy way to deal with a 5/5 just as a minion itself, right?
Yeah.
So it's going to eat through this ice barrier with one of the minions and then just take a life discount of 8 for a Geranium battle.
Yep.
He's paying a heavy tax against this. Oh, it's just going to clear it off. I don't know the value in doing this. Maybe the value is so that if they had fire sale that the 2 damage could make it 5, so clear it off. So there's something to that. But it wasn't enough to ping unless they had the second wildfire.
Yeah. Oh. Multicaster unable to go right now.
Doing the best you can, just removing. Another wildfire.
Or snap freeze. There's nothing frozen right now. Nope.
No, and there's really no way. It's out from the one they used. So there's one in Savara, but you'd rather have another wildfire, I think, unless Deep Breath. But Deep Breath, there's no spells in hand, so
right.
it's not has no value. So I think you're kind of stuck on this wildfire. Play the wildfire because you have 1 mana left, unless you just don't want to take damage, and you freeze something. Is protecting the life. I can see that. What does the extra ping give you? At this point you're behind. So you want to buy turns.
Yeah.
Well, the Leviathan is just more minions on board, and they're all divine shielded. But the other play was C4 Slavier into the Mooncatcher, the upgraded Mooncatcher. But I like this. Both are good. Dawngrasp does get you. No, there's not. It's not guaranteed, but I think it's 50-50 to get you Ice Block Barrier plus the 5, which is another 13 health. We're looking at 8, 16, 5, 21, 25 coming back. So we're at 20. Nope.
It gets frozen. That's okay.
Not the one you want? No, because that's 20. It's lethal.
Yep. Okay. C-Mac comes back.
A back and forth fight is what we want.
The lights are out still.
Yeah. It knows shame is coming. It doesn't want to show it.
All right, so C-Mac with the win with the Paladin, so that takes away the ping mage for Geranium Battle, who has to come out swinging with the Paladin. So probably a good deck to kind of fight back. Paladin versus Paladin.
Yeah, we really, does Ping Mage give us a line of what this Paladin will be? And part of me thinks that Ping Mage is more of a anti-aggro kind of bring.
Mm-hmm.
And so along the same lines, are we seeing a Holy Paladin? Are we expecting a Holy Paladin here from Geranium? To go with that Prester, right? So Prester Druid, it's not exactly anti-aggro, it's just Prester, right? I'm trying to put him on like a mindset here, and there's a lot of variables, but I wouldn't be surprised to see a Holy Paladin here. I guess is the long-winded way for me to say. Let's see Holy Paladin. Nope, I was wrong. It's the exact same deck. You've seen Battlemaster. So we are seeing a mirror. And I like these aggressive lines. I mean, I guess when you're thinking about if you don't know which way to go, you should probably always lean more towards the aggressive line because it's just more consistent, right? You'd rather be proactive on the board, turns 1 through 5. Better things happen that way. We do see the drill kit in both opening hands. We do see an earlier activator in C-Max hand, which is what you want to see, 2 activators into double Mooncatcher. So a lot more Divine Shields, but we do see the Savior in Mooncatcher.
You coin this out though? No. Okay.
No.
Foot Clocker.
I think that's easy. I don't think you worry about trying to get to. You'd rather have the Divine Shield.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Activation. Yep. Here, easy into.
Double.
Not. Yeah, I mean, turn 3. Turn 2, turn 3 moon catchers is pretty solid. We do see a smite, ultra aggressive line, radar detector. I think Mooncatcher here, just to answer the Mooncatcher on board.
Yep.
Knowing you have Savior, so if they get rid of it, you get your extra value much sooner. And then you do have Stormcoil in hand, right? So it's, I think this turn, if you Mooncatcher, it's a 5/3. It's a bigger. Obviously, make it bigger first. And then drop into 6/4. And the 5/3 is still the play. You have no reason to drop your taunts unless you want to go triple, just go super wide here, right? And just put a bunch of minions out, but then your turn 4 is really weak. So I think this makes a lot of sense to drop the Mooncatcher here, because then you can weave in a hero power with 2 1-drops next turn. You have a lot more flexibility with 4 mana opposed to putting your line on 3 and hoping you draw another 1 mana. So I like this play. Value trades.
Mooncatcher.
I think, yeah, radar detector here, easy.
The Savior.
And then Savior.
Yeah. Savior is a 3/3, so it's good.
Well, I mean, now you have the amalgam. You have the amalgam now. So to me, I think maybe trading in first to buff everything, and then
An amalgam.
I think there's value to the amalgam. But this, I mean, again, you're buffing into another Savior. I think is an okay play.
Yeah.
And it fits your curve at 5 mana next turn. Bannerman. Yeah, but the problem is if they happen to remove your board, you don't have a target for your amalgam then.
Right.
Unless I mean, I guess you have your Mooncatchers already in hand, so I guess buffing your hand. Do you value buffing your hand here? And I think there is some value to that because there's Mooncatcher, but we do see the Savior. Okay. There's a lot of talking for to end up at the original line.
The hypotheticals, yes. 6/4 going. I kind of like these kind of battles where it's battle of attrition for, board control.
Mm-hmm.
I always find it very interesting to see what line players pick.
I think this, and I think we're going to see a lot more of this. We're seeing the direction Hearthstone's going with the reveals.
Yeah.
So I definitely think Paladins become way more board-centric deck opposed to the Holy version. You can clearly see that's the direction they want to take it.
Savior's a big one.
Savior's big, but is it? Yeah, I think.
Because I was gonna say maybe even save that for turn 7. You can have that adds rush. Yeah. Anyway.
The other question is, you can amalgam here to draw to kind of just pick some stuff up, put the the standard Mooncatcher in, right? And then that way you're saving just the one more buff from the jewel for the additional value, because we just talked about it. It's a value-centric board. So every extra of 1 seems like it's worthwhile. We are going to just see 6 stats hit the board.
Jewel?
Most likely. I mean, Jewel or Alliance does draw another minion, right? We see your opponent at 2 cards. So it's like, we do see the other amalgam, right? That was amalgam.
Yeah.
Just choosing to put more choices, more discovery, more minions. I think there's value for all of it. We do see radar detector. That's a way for them not to be no longer at 2 cards. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Oh, kind of on the lower end. 3.5-ish, right? So lower end of the spectrum there. And this is just a lot of, it's
You just go face with this because
you have, yeah, I think you go face because you have Smite and you have Leviathan answer boards and you have two taunts in the way of a return. We do see the Storm Coil in hand, so it's going to be interesting coming back the other direction, but that's 5 going into a 6-mana turn.
Yeah. Would you almost like to see the 5/3 get bumped? I don't know. That was kind of, you get rid of the buff, I guess, finally. But what are you getting out of it afterwards? What's the opponent going to have afterwards? Anyway.
So right now they have to get through 3 attacks.
Yep.
To get through the 2/3/3s, which leaves up 8, 9, 10, 5, 15, and lethal coming back the other direction. So the only answer here is to taunt up through Storm Coil, I believe. I could be wrong.
That's 6/6 on the go.
But I think this is the play regardless because it clears out the most, and gives you a wall. No, it does not give you a taunt. I thought for some reason it gave you a taunt. It does not. Oh, this is just lethal back the other direction, right? Because that's 9. We just need to have 10 on board. Oh, just short. Too short. Can we find 2 damage? Oh, we don't have to. I assume he had a chance to cast it this turn. I assume Smite was in hand and he's in lethal range. It was able to be cast. Okay. Definitely going to be in range next turn if we don't find a taunt for Dranium Battle. Just putting out a bunch of threats. And I think you just swing everything face. Wait, hold on. You have to remove the Wind Fury. But other than that, do you really worry about 12, 22 coming back? Playing it safe a little bit. I think you. Oh, I stand corrected. That was the correct play.
You're looking at a big 9/10 amalgam. The bubble bot going to be following. That mothership would be good. Colossal's good.
No, I think both the Colossal and Mothership answer the board, right? And that's kind of what you want. So I think Leviathan gives you a little bit more flexibility in your answers. But Bubblebot's just going to come down and laugh.
Bubblebot.
Now the question is, do you attack first and then do it? No, I think because you preserve the shields basically.
Oops. And you just go face?
No, I think I think this is correct. I think you. Okay. At some point you need to go face. Ooh. You're absolutely correct. But return Bubblebot. We do see a value of Leviathan here. This is going to make a big dent. Do you want to remove the 9/10 or remove the? I mean, I guess. Yeah.
Prismatic Jewel. You got.
Yeah. I mean, Annoytron is another taunt, so it does get in the way. Akani is super annoying because you just choose minion and you're eating a minion, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Clearing this off.
You got 15 coming the other way if he wants to go face, but my guess is board focus.
I mean, you've played the board game for so long, right?
Yep.
So I think double trading into the 7/8 is going to be the play with the Leviathan. Drawing a card, setting up your turn for the next card for the turn after. chooses to. I don't know about that, right? I mean, because you're not playing the card that you dredge most likely,
Yeah.
unless you knew it was this, right? But even then, you're not getting value out of it. Okay, yeah,
Just
it's
take
a
the rest
line.
of the board off. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh.
Chooses not to. Just gonna. At some point, you have to decide to go face, right? You have to decide to put lethal pressure.
Yeah.
Because I think drawing Battlemaster is a lethal threat.
Oh.
We see a pause.
So we got Geranium possibly having some connection issues. Back again. So Automaton, Amalgam. How much mana has he got?
Mothership. He's got 4 left. I think Bubble Bite here just develop the board, crit the shields, crit the taunts, all the value. And then just going to swing in and remove a bunch of these. Alright. Not the best. I mean, you're kind of already on the line. So, I think you amalgam because on a chance you get another Leviathan. If not, then you would automaton first just to get the extra value out of it. But
yeah.
I think the 7 mana threshold does matter. So Leviathan seems to be what he's looking for. Doesn't get it. Gorilla Bot, easy pick. Another amalgam just to continue the digging path. I mean, the problem is that he knows he's in danger coming back the other direction. He needs to find at least one taunt.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't know. We know there's danger coming back the other direction. But I think you just have to annoy Tron, right? Something to get in the way. Chooses not to.
Elytron.
Just choose to get the additional value. Ooh.
Yeah, that's
Sneak
good.
Seems good. If he survives. Oh, there's the Noitron. But we do see 7, 8, 9. 1 off lethal.
Do you go for it, or do you
put him at 1? Alternatively, you can play Mothership here and just continue. I think you have a better board, right? You have the second Bubble Bot, so you Mothership in, remove stuff, right?
Yep.
You can put him at 1, and that's not a bad choice, right? But how likely is it that they're able to remove everything? Because if they do, now they have total control of the board, and now we're back to the value game. And to me, it's safer to play this route where you control the board, you have initiative. Yeah, he's just going to do this, protect up, extra value, and then lock out the next creature. Yeah, you're just locking out the next minion. So you're going to keep value, and it's only going to get worse. So I think this goes in, going to eat that. Now here is Sneed enough?
$10, so it's 1, 2, 3. The bubble bursts.
Well, I think, Bubble Burst and kill the 4/2, right? That's 2. And then Bubble Burst and ping the 4/6. So your 4/5 clears it, right?
Yep.
And then you clear off the 2/3. This is the best you can do.
Yep.
Ooh, and we see more. Every time the hand gets low for a CMAC, he sees this radar.
Hey, bartender, order me up a radar detector.
I think if you're thinking about playing Smite this turn, you'd radar anyways. Mm-hmm. Why wouldn't you radar first?
Oh, thought that was a shark there for a second.
Yeah. To me, I think you...
Ooh, got lucky.
Yep. Maybe always radiating first there, just to see what you draw. If it changes your line at all. It may not, but you never know. Yeah, we see CMAC just have Or
Ooh.
what? I don't know how I forgot about that card. I should never forget about that card.
Hey, guess what? Carriel's coming down.
Carriel's coming down, and I don't think of Vipers in the in the opponent's deck. So, what was a hard fought battle for control to grind them down has now been just kind of reset. Because now it's down to a 2-1, and you have to do twice the amount of damage, and his minions are just getting bigger.
Oh, there's
hey, that is a responding Carriel, and that's a smite in hand still. So his Carriel is just better.
Mooncatcher.
Now the thing is like you got to make sure you empty your hand so it increases the likelihood of hitting Mr. Smite. Because unlike Holy Paladin, Mech Paladin does have a lot of minions. So.
Oh, chooses to.
Just, yeah. Well, because you don't want to discover something else and put on top of the Carriel.
Right. So
you didn't want to. You're not going to save your there regardless.
Oh, got Mothership and Mooncatcher.
Yeah, I think the question we're asking here is, do you want to hero power? Because I don't think you're Mothershipping. I think you're Mooncatcher in your Gorilla Body. Oh, he's choosing not to use hero power, just going straight rush and clearing. I like this play. Foregoing the extra value from your hero power, but pushing more control on the board. Mm-hmm. And we are going to see a return. Now, do you sacrifice the 1/1 into the 5/1 in hopes that they get smaller mechs, right? So you can damage it with Carriel?
Yep. 1/1 into the
Mothership. Yeah.
I mean,
the other thing is, you're not worried about really popping the bubble. I mean, it's more about just seeing what drops here.
Ooh, there's a shark. Ooh.
Good thing we popped it now.
Yeah.
And this makes it easy to kind of remove those two.
You got to get that shark off the board, I would think.
Yeah. And now we can dredge.
Stormcoil? Or, you're not going to have anything on the board.
I mean, to me, Mooncatcher and just make it bigger. And that way, if it's a 50-50, you really don't care which one it hits. I mean, both of them have great value.
Oh, timely radar detector. How many cards does he get left? 13 to C-Max 10. So
I mean, so on average it draws 3.5, right? So like you basically at the same after this. So really not. I don't think fatigue is going to be the deciding factor in this game. And again, this one puts him on 7, so Leviathan pull is the consideration here. So I can see the mindset. And I don't have the list in front of me, so he has a better idea of what's likely in the bottom cards. But I think you'd radar detector here.
Well,
that seems like an easy play.
Yep. A clocker, a Noyatron.
No, he's going to put the automaton to make it, and then drop the click clocker on top of it to make it a turn, bigger, right? And then saving the copy to just further buff. So now, that it gets super big, and you have to deal with the 6/8. And unfortunately, you may have to throw. No, we do see Stormcoil, but it's not enough. You have to basically run your whole board into it.
Yeah.
Or do you just dump Smite? And we do see Smite hit, so 3, so that is 7 damage. 8, 9, 10 damage. So it's still 7/14 points away from lethal. But that 6/8's going to get out of control, and you're taking substantial damage coming back, and there's no guarantee what your next draw is.
Yeah.
I think you have to answer the board with your Smite.
6-8 off the board or the 10-8? That's the choice.
I think the 6-8 can grow. The health can grow out of range, right? And that's always the concern.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're losing this to.
Ooh, wow. Timely bubble bot. Hit the bubble bot. Probably wished it was on.
No, you want
or the
that Mooncatcher because it just turns in. Yeah, they're all Noatrons after the bubble bot, right?
Yeah, perfect. So,
and that I don't see an answer here. So yeah,
base it is.
I mean, just saying I don't care, right? The problem is I mean, it's not a mech, so it's not. Stone Cold has no target.
Yeah.
Have to draw something big here. Samuro is the other non-mech in the deck. But, got 50-50. You can't hero power afterwards, so 50-50 hits Samuro.
And it does.
But it's not. You can't hit the 8-8, right? So.
Nope.
So that's 1 down. 2. 3.
Dead
I mean, with dead anyways, yep. Oh, man.
Just like what we want to hear. We got a game 5, folks.
Always game 5.
That's right.
Game 5 in the finals. Mech Mage versus Mystery.
Yeah, we'll see.
Mystery Lock. You're going Curse. You're not going Murloc Warlock. You're saying Curse Lock.
Yeah. Why not? With a 40 card. Or what I'm being told, XL. XL Curse Warlock. So XL standing for 40. Roman numerals.
I think it's just for extra large, right?
Yes. That's how I see it in my brain. Extra large. Okay.
And I was right.
You were right. I am happily wrong.
And let's see. I mean, the tiny fin, it tells us the direction. It's good to answer boards, but you want it to be a little bit bigger. I don't think tiny fin's something you want to keep. Now, on the other side, none of this is what you want to keep from Journey and Battles. It's not fast enough. It's not early enough. And did we see any mulligan from CMAC yet?
Ooh, kept it all except for Finley.
And that's normal. I mean, we do see the click-clack.
Yep.
Easy click-clack into Amalgam buff. Lush Water Scout is great. Rock Bottom here. The problem is if you coin out Lush Water now, it allows you to Rock Bottom to run in and clean up next turn and just the immense value, or you play the other Lush Water. We are going to see a 3/4 here. So big minions, and much like Murloc Shaman, it's really hard to reload.
Yep.
So even Explosive Sheep here is viable because it's a chance to clear the board and just kind of reset. I think Journey Battle has a much easier way to refill his hand, and just get additional value every turn. He can make a dude, which challenges the board if it comes down to it. I mean, Security Automaton, yeah. I mean, Sneeze is too slow, so it's either do you want some way to push 2 damage everywhere, or do you want to have your own scaling? Is what the question comes down to. And I was wrong on both, of course. That's just the way these things go. I'm here for the comedic value only.
There we go.
Not professional advice.
Our mind reading skills are at a minimum today, right now, but that's okay.
I don't like this.
5-3 bump.
I
And this is a bump. Okay.
I don't know about that play. I mean, yeah, you're saving Lush Water, but you have another one. I don't know. That just feels bad.
Okay. Ooh,
And Mooncatcher? Yeah, because you have the Savior in hand. I think Mooncatcher's the play. And the longer this Lush Water stays up, I mean, the more that you're giving your opponent the ability to answer from hand. And we do see Gigafin. See, that's the big brain play. Sneed answers Gigafin because you just ping away the
was it 7-4, 7-3, 7-5? I can't remember.
I forget. The interaction with Sneed, does it, like, when you choose it, it does the damage then, or you choose all of them and then it does it all at once?
It does it every press of the button. So
okay, good. So you can kill something before you finish choosing all.
Yeah. Right. You have a maximum of 10 points of minion damage. Or pew pew.
I think
damage.
Pew pew. Pew pew. I think this Mooncatcher, it's not mana efficient, but it doesn't matter. You want to save your Savior for the follow-up when it dies. And even if not, then Stormcoil, Iron Curve here. I mean, you want Vilefin. I mean, because that's how you cheat the mana in this deck is through Vilefin. And you want to put Scavenger on the bottom to make everything nice and big. And just by having, I mean, it's not really how to play the deck, but I mean, this is how you have to play it, right?
Yep. Called taking care of business.
And this is just an easy automaton first. Yep. Into Savior. Grab your Mooncatchers. Ooh, you see Carriol at the bottom, so you know Carriol's there. Turn
5 with just a flesh wound, one point of damage off, so not too bad at this point.
The Chum Bucket isn't good enough.
No.
I mean, yeah, you definitely want to Blitz and Vilefin here. Sunken. Yeah, easy. You can ping, life tap to draw it. You play it. Everything gets a little bit bigger, a little bit more threatening. Easy answer the board. And we saw this. Yeah, the Lush Scout just staying on the board this long is really frustrating.
Don't I know it?
And here, I mean, you're basically saying yes, you can take care of. Yeah, exactly. You can take care of my board, but you have to run everything into it plus something from your hand, right? Now we do see the rock bottom here, which is going to be basically you rock bottom and then you Chum Bucket. These aren't the best minions, but they're minions, and it's worth it. Light Seer just make everything. Cold Light Seer, I think, just make everything bigger, but he chooses more damage. Ooh. I mean, that's a 10-10. And this is how everything is. But again, in order to go along this path of controlling the board, you are throwing a lot of your stuff away. And I mean, send 11 in face. There we go. That's always good.
Oh,
but it's not buffed.
No Buffy Samuro.
I mean, you can run the 1/1 into the 7/3, and then Samuro into it, and basically remove 7 damage from the board.
But you're looking at
you have, yeah. I mean, that's 15 coming back. Puts you at 1. Unfortunately, I think that's the best you can do. You have no mechs, and you have to save this bubble bot for the chance of drawing a cheap mech to throw it out there. I think you run the 1/1 into the 7/3, and then you Samuro the 7/3 to remove the 7/3, put the lush water on 1, and you're 1 off lethal. No,
Goes face instead.
but aren't you just dead?
And he is. With 18 to the dome.
What? Why would you? I'm confused there.
Okay. Well, that decides it. So congrats to C-Mac and his team. Gosh, I'm forgetting what their team. At least I don't have chicken. So ALIDHC. So for those that like acronyms.
That's not an acronym at that point. That's a sentence. Too long. Are we going to get C-Mac on for the interview?
Trying to get the C-Mac in here. So congrats to a week past midnight there, getting into the finals. Unfortunately, didn't fall favor. Got to Game 5 Geranium Battle. Did the best they could.
Yeah, we saw the aggressive lineup, and it just kind of ran after it. Just was able to get there. Found a win in the end, which is always good, and congrats. It's close series overall, close match tonight. Came down to a close Game 5. How you won it. Unfortunately, someone has to lose, and to the victor go the spoils.
Yeah. C-Mac can add another back on his profile, on the THL, because he's back-to-back champion, back-to-back. Yep. So still waiting for C-Mac to respond here. But while we're waiting, I'm just double checking to see what the Legacy series is all about. Right now we have I can update our viewers there with the Wild series, which is going to be, the final is going to be Bread Likely versus F2L Viridian. So that's going to be a huge match that hopefully our team can collaborate and get those players on stream. So Bread Likely is a they don't play Wild all that often, but to see them in the finals, there was some, I guess, beginning of the year, there was some speculation that Bread Likely wins, that there was supposed to be, I can't remember what the bet was. Somebody would eat a shoe or something like that. I can't remember. So chat can update us on that. So
yeah, false in. Eating a shoe is not that bad.
No. All right, so C-Mac says yes. Congratulations, sir. Or I should. That's what I was just about to finish off. Yeah.
Thanks.
C-Mac style. So I was just saying to Kotomura, you're gonna have to add another back to your profile name in THL.
So that's right.
So walk us
I can
through.
do that.
Yeah, walk us through the kind of the prep going into this decisive match. Kind of your thoughts of your lineups and what your thought were, and kind of what you thought Geranium was going to bring, and kind of just overall, what was your take on the match?
Yeah, so let's see. What did I bring this week? Yeah, that's right. It's more or less what I brought last week, except I brought Shaman instead of Rogue. Felt pretty good with these classes. They're pretty flexible.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess he was probably expecting that, because he notably did not bring Shaman, which was probably a good decision on his part. So yeah, slightly sad about that, but it worked out okay based on the classes he brought. I decided to go full aggro, and so yeah, a lot of tribe decks, right? Murlocs and mechs. And that was my plan. He told me actually he anticipated all my decks as well, but I guess I drew better.
Yeah, it was definitely back and forth. We saw the Paladin mirror was a slogfest of board control and trying to figure out how to get through. And was that the thought around the Hunter was just kind of removing that because it was the one consistent deck that he had, but it was just something you just didn't want to go against with aggro?
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, that's the Aegis replay said best bin.
Good. Oh, it's definitely well played, and I like the decision to go aggro. I mean, what's your take on? This is my common question this weekend was, how much has one card kind of changed the meta and your thought process leading into this match? We saw the one sneak peek card and kind of all the ripple effects that it's had on the meta. What's your opinion of the current state of that card and kind of what it's done?
Yeah, it's been interesting. So I guess last season, I basically, after it was released into the pool, I basically only climbed with Murloc Shaman, basically farming all these Renatal decks. I didn't really play. I didn't play too much Renathal myself, and I guess I guess since I was planning on doing aggro anyway, I wasn't going to be too worried about Renatal decks.
Yeah.
Which is actually a benefit, right? Because you have to worry about learning a new deck or trying to build out or maximize or make something efficient to kind of counteract the additional 10-card penalty to the extra life, right? So I like that approach of just saying, hey, I'm not going to worry about it. Let them bring it, and I'll just bring what beats that. Makes sense. Makes sense. Well, congrats. It was well fought, well played. Congrats on the season win. This is all around congratulations.
Any thoughts or thanks you want to give to anybody out there?
Yeah, shout out to my team, especially Justin, who has spent countless hours and essays telling us why our play sucks to make us better.
So some counter coaching going on, that kind of deal?
Yeah, definitely.
Tough love, it's the best way.
That's right. Inspirational. Justin just keeping, 9 Eyebrows was the captain this season. So.
Oh yeah, shout out to 9 as well. Actually, 9 helped me at like an hour before the match because he was our resident Murloc Warlock expert.
Gotcha.
And I had.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Because I didn't actually have too many games on that deck. I was just going off my Murloc Shaman experience.
Yeah, deck plays itself. It pilots itself pretty well, and you played it well, and yeah, it does the Murloc things.
All right. Well, congrats, C-Mac, and congrats to your teammates there, and you can enjoy the rest of the night knowing you have another Hero series under your belt. So.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks for casting.
Thanks for being on.
Thanks.
Stream. Well, love Game 5s. Nice big brain plays by both players tonight. Unfortunately, Geranium fell a little bit short, but always next season, right?
And always another season.
Always another season and another expansion and another 4 patches to go with that expansion. Oh wait, let's add another.
Let's hope next season. It's every 2 weeks again, right? We change them out every 2 weeks.
Exactly. Yep. Tired of this. Let's get out of this meta. Let's try another one. So we do. Other special note, just wanted to bring up, is the Legacy quarterfinals are just starting to get finalized tonight. So we have unofficially F2L White, who's moved on to the semifinals, as well as 4 Justins and 1 Sustin. So those two teams will see some semifinal action, and we're waiting for some results on my team, STD, versus going up against Blue Naga Cult. Currently, it's 10-7 for STD, with another two matches, I think, at 10 o'clock Eastern, I believe it is. And then Fish Eternum is going up against S21 THL Legacy Series team, who are up currently 8-2 with 3 matches left to go. So it's going to be exciting to see which teams actually, the final 2 teams that get to move on to the semifinals. So we'll be covering that next week as well. And again, just to touch base, Wild Series finalists are going to be Bread Likely and versus F2L Viridian. So, some exciting stuff. Our center is going to cover most of it. Not a lot of action next week. Could be a Wild Note Series. I believe that's on Thursday. And then we're back in action with the Friday night fights, Salty Saturdays with Wild 9 opping that. And then myself on Sunday with either Kotamora and Myanodon, or Myanodon and Dollar Bills, or Kotamora and Dollar Bills, or Kotamora and me. All kinds of mixtures.
Something to somebody.
That's right.
Yes.
We're doing our own expansion and modifications to the casters. So
So you're saying I'm getting nerfed?
You're not.
I see how it is.
You're getting buffed.
No, that's called.
You're getting buffed.
Oh, okay.
You're getting buffed. See?
Nice. Good save.
Buff is the stuff. So I want to thank all our viewers as well. We have currently about 29 we're finishing the stream.
Wow.
So thank you so much for joining us and watching CMAC and Geranium Battle. Do get out in the finals in Game 5 as it should be. So I want to wish all my friends in the States to be safe and have a great holiday. Kotamora, anything you wanted to add before we go?
So, yeah. Echoing the stay safe, enjoy yourself. Everyone needs that kind of mental break. It's always good to go outside and touch grass a little bit. So take your time this weekend, spend time with your friends, family, and then we'll get back after it next week.
Exactly. So thanks again, everybody. Take care, and we will see you next week.
Have a good one.
Bye.